Hi guys!
Welcome to another episode of the Night Bloomers podcast.
Today we're going to be doing a bit of a controversial episode on Andrew Tate, mostly about like male and female, and we're going to be talking about some tweets that he's posted and tweets that have been quoted that he's specifically said, and we're going to be giving our opinion, and also we're going to be doing some audios
about what he said, and we're basically just going to react to them and give our viewpoint of
so
this specific thing.
Let's play the first audio.
Yeah.
So I think he does this as like a way to express himself.
I feel like a lot of people, specifically females, I've realised, dislike Andrew Tate.
But then you have those who are really in love with him, and it's like I feel like it's healthy to have a margin with him, because you can't agree with everything someone says, especially if some of those things are very controversial.
I do agree with most of the things he says. However, there's just a bunch. Anyways, let's play the first audio.
I believe that females are weaker than men. That makes me a bad person in the feminist mind. It's true. It's fucking true. If someone breaks in the house, I'm not sending her to fight. It's my job, right? I have to risk my life to protect her. So when someone doesn't break in the house and I ask her for breakfast, I expect it to be made.
Okay, so what I want to say about that is, let's say they grow old together and no one ends up breaking into the house. She's just served you her whole life, but you haven't proven yourself.
No, but he does say that he's supposed to be responsible for the financial state of the both. So I get that far. However, I do, the part where he says, if someone breaks into the house,
yeah,
you could honestly you could be the one who goes out there to fight for her. At the end of the day, I feel like when you're gone to one of your other people's houses, like the other girls that you...
Then no one's going to be home to protect her.
Exactly. Like you would... And...
Typically, I don't need a man to avenge me. I am generally a strong woman and I have my tactics. Don't ask me for it. Just don't randomly come to me and be like, hey Chandrika, you want to arm wrestle?
The frying pan!
But I'm saying I'm generally a strong woman. I wouldn't go for a bodybuilder anyways. But typically, I have my ways. I don't need to use my strength to beat someone up. I can scratch them. I can pull their hair. I have so many ways. It's not a way where you're making me feel less to show that you're going to protect me and stuff. Because I feel like that's you showing a point but never really talking about it yourself.
And furthermore, I do believe that I feel like, let's say a person does break into the house, there is a very, very small chance of you surviving because they literally broke into your house.
Yeah, they have especially in America, they have weapons and stuff.
Exactly. So it's a very small chance of you surviving. What makes you think?
I think what he thinks is he would die for her, but he thinks that after they killed him, they would just stop there.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Because I heard, I think, a video where he said that if a female on a street, I think it was this video exactly, but like a continuation. If a woman was on a street and you got catcalled, then I would fight and stuff. Or if you got attacked by a guy or inappropriately touched, bruv, if you're, and he's like, I'm gonna risk my life. If they're gonna beat you up, you think they're just gonna stop there? You think they're not gonna end up going for the girl anyways?
Yeah, they beat you up just because you were there stopping it, but the girl...
Your mission is to protect her at all costs, but the chance of you surviving is kind of a 50-50 depending on the other person. And it's just imagine if the people that attacked her were female.
And I think the point that he's just making, I'm asking you to do what he's trying to say, that you're not that strong. I feel like I'm stronger than you. To a degree, I do believe that's true. To a degree, physically, men are built different, a bit more stronger.
They're a bit more broad as well.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. That's what I believe. So I kind of do agree with this statement. But yeah.
Okay, let's play the second audio.
I need a degree of authority to sometimes come along and say, cook my dinner, shut up. Because the Western world has collapsed in real time. It's a failed society. And one of the reasons it's a failed society is because of the over-sexualization, especially of females as a whole.
I'm highly confused on what he said there.
Okay, I'll read it out because I wrote it down. So it says, I need a degree of authority to sometimes come along and say, cook my fucking dinner, shut up. Because the Western world has collapsed in real time and is failed society. And one of the reasons it's failed society is because of the over-sexualization of females as a whole.
He's acting like he doesn't sexualize them himself. He's giving me mixed signals because he's saying that he's not the problem and society is the problem, but then he says that genetically as a man he has a way of doing the things he does, and the things he does are what he's against.
You know the part where it says I need a degree of authority to sometimes come along and say cook my fucking dinner and shut up.
How am I going to know when to cook your dinner when you're going out with the one girl the one night, going out with the second girl, come home and expect it to be made?
I'm a bit tricky on that. I feel like
first of all, I don't think you have a flipping schedule. Get your schedule sorted out, and then before that, don't get angry at me.
You sound so angry.
When you're lounging around, I only see you for an hour a night, and you expect everything to be done for you. Do I look like your maid? Do I look like I'm just here?
No, but I agree.
You have, I'm going to use an example, and it's kind of a stretch. And I know if he does end up finding this podcast, I'm going to get absolutely crushed. But I have a bag of hairpins, yeah? Imagine those hairpins have feelings. Every day I'm like, I'm going to use you tonight. You better work. You better work. If you don't work tonight. One day this one doesn't end up working. I'm like, work your ass off. Throw it on the floor because it's not working. Is this guy pulling my hair, man? I'm honestly breaking right now.
Wait, I need to stop laughing. But basically, what I'm trying to say, I think for the videos, just for the video purposes, just because like he's a bit more male, just a bit more aggressive, just a bit more competitive. I think because he's like that, he tends to scream things.
I think his point is clear, but I think the way he says it, he exaggerates everything.
I think because he screams so much, people are so off-put about it. Like, what is this man shouting at me?
Yeah, but the thing is, imagine he said it calmly. If I need a degree of authority, sometimes come along and say, cook my fucking dinner.
No, but I feel like, I don't think in real life, because I've seen him like with videos with women, like he does treat them nice. I can't say
I've heard
much.
stories about how people have seen him in person and he has been much nicer.
Like, I feel like just for the purposes of like trying to change things, he says things in a harsher tone, but I do think like it's true what he does say.
I agree with what he says, but the thing is, it's like he's throwing goals out there, but he's not giving the strategy towards them.
Yeah.
He's throwing stuff out there like, I want this to happen in the world, the government and corrupt and stuff, but he's not telling you how. He's not telling you what to do. If you know the knowledge of it...
But at the same time, that's not his role, is it?
He's got the problem with it. He got arrested a couple of days ago. The first thing he said was, the Matrix have captured me.
The part where it says, and one of the reasons it's failed society is because of the over-sexualization of females as a whole.
That's not our fault, is it?
Exactly. But I think what he does mean is females, sometimes some females do sexualize themselves. I'm not kidding. Yeah. I feel like one of my cousins, I'm not gonna say who, but like one of the cousins, because she's so young, but because like we're growing in this type of world where gender roles, they're messed up, things are different, but I feel like we're so like we're run by social media, so whatever on social media, like people are gonna follow it, especially kids, because they are born into it, they're born into the generation. Sometimes you're in school, you watch that social media, your parents are not there. I feel like that specific cousin, she's here and she's seen girls like doing she obviously wants to do that too because she's seen it. It's normal for her.
I feel like, especially with social media, you don't see the other side.
Exactly.
If something happens to them, like about, let's say I'm mentioning the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard drama. Have you heard about it?
Yeah. So I watched the whole courtroom.
So the thing about Amber Heard and stuff is that people were continuously hating on Johnny Depp on the trial, on the day of the trial, because they heard both sides and because obviously Amber Heard was panicking. Some of the stuff she said, it may be false. I'm not gonna support anyone in that trial or anyone who I think was true. Nor do I think Johnny Depp was in the right. Nor do I think Amber Heard in the right, because I don't want to get into that. I don't watch the full thing, and I'm not sure about it, all the facts and figures. But the thing was that everybody was against her at the time, and they completely forgot about what Johnny Depp had done in his past, and the fact that like they didn't hear about his story and stuff of his past, and at the time it's like they turned Johnny Depp into a semi-okay person. After the trial, they turned him into a complete like god figure to them, a person that's kind, a person that's this, a person that's that. Both of them were in the wrong, don't get me wrong, but why are you, just because something's been wrong to someone doesn't mean the whole persona has been completely changed.
How does that link to what?
I'm saying it in a way as in like let me word it correctly. Okay, so he was completely wrong in the beginning, before the trial even happened, before anything even happened. He wasn't completely wrong, but there were stuff said about him that was controversial towards him. After the trial, because he was proven innocent, people cleared everything that happened in the past with him. And I feel like the same is happening with Andrew Tate, because now people are seeing all the negative stuff that's been happening with him, not talking about what he's done in the past and possibly in the future refreshing it.
And what I do believe, I feel like
I just waffled for like 5 minutes straight and it made no sense. I had something in mind, I can't remember it.
No, it did make sense. At the end of the day, like the connotation you got, it made sense. What I'm trying to say is, regarding the quote, is that the part where he says society is a bit ruined because of the over-sexualization of females. See, I don't know how that specifically, that is the major reason why society's been ruined. I don't understand.
I'm not being mean or being or targeting him, but I feel like he doesn't have respect for a certain woman, because we did discuss this before prior to the episode about how he was talking about wanting about 8 wives, like loads of females for him, and it's like half. If genetically females were made to breed and one man to have multiple females, then the proportion of female to male ratio
should be larger.
There should be more females than males. If you believe that the world has formed into such a way, then clearly there's going to be a handful, if not a bowl, of men that will have no women, because one man has 8 women and those 8 women won't be able to go to
the other man.
And
furthermore, the part where he says that women are more intelligent, not intelligent, he would never say that, more emotional than men. Don't you feel that if you are that man who has 8 different wives, that each of those wives are not going to be jealous of the other ones?
Yeah.
Because they're more emotional. Don't you feel that?
And
it's a bit like, I understand monogamy, like I said before, like I do understand it, like some people that's what they prefer, but I do feel that it shouldn't be expected. Like you can't sit here and say a man should be allowed to have as many women as he wants. It's alright.
I think the main reason he wants to do this is because obviously I think I heard him talk about this once as well, is that if a female gets pregnant and there's one man that she's with, she's going to know who the father is. But if a female is obviously being sexual with multiple men, then she's not going to know who the father is.
Paternity tests.
But then another thing that I want to mention is he trying to say that if you are a single mother, that you cannot go for another man again?
Exactly.
If you're telling me that this female has gotten into an arranged marriage, about 3 years later her husband has passed away or divorced her, she has
no right to find a man?
Yeah. And if she does have no kids, then is her purpose in life not there? Is her purpose in life ruined? Does she not have a purpose in life? Because she can't find another man, and nor can she have kids without obviously a man, and she can't go lounging around, because to you that's not a female anymore, is it?
Yeah, that's over-sexualizing females. Anyways.
And he said that a woman with a body count over 3 is not a woman anymore.
Okay, what do you feel that in terms of body count, what is like too much?
I think it's up to you, to be honest. If I feel like body count is important in a relationship, but I don't feel like it should be the main aspect of it. If I were with a male who had a respected body count, which for me is different for you, I'm not saying there's a point where it becomes... I'm not going to say it because it's personal to me, but I'm not saying there's a point where the body count becomes disrespectful. I'm saying in a point it is where it does become a little vary. I do worry a little because I'm like
who'd you put your thing inside?
Yeah, but and then the thing is with Andrew Tate is I think he doesn't care with the male
perspective.
So
one of the things he said was which I kind of woke up something in me, but it's a bit controversial. What he said was, if a male fucks as many people as he wants, he's stronger. But if a female, she's fucked by no one, she's stronger because she didn't let anyone in, and a man because he's had so much pride. That's what he said once. How far do you agree with that? Because I'm
gonna be like, I think he said that while he was high. I'm not even gonna lie, because it's unless there's some wider context. If he said it in a podcast where he talks about in depth, that statement itself does not make sense to me.
To a degree, it makes sense. I mean,
no, as in a strategical point. The sentence makes sense, but I'm saying it doesn't make sense in a way that I can figure out a way where he can explain how it makes sense, how it's right.
I think it was taken away. It was in a TikTok, so it was taken away from our podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like he
because
explained
most of the stuff he says besides his tweet is taken out of context, which can be a bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's.
I think due to my religion, I do agree with that statement. But
that makes no sense.
No. I agree to it to an extent, but the part where a male he can do it as many as he wants. I feel like people overlook sex a lot.
I feel like
they look at it one second. They look at it as if it's like it's your body, you throw your virginity away to whoever you want, and you don't remember. I think your first time is super important, and I know I'm getting a bit off topic, but it links in some way. Like I do think it's you giving away your virginity to someone so important. Like I get that part, but I think it goes both ways a little bit.
I think people complex it too much, because I believe that like sex is a way to show passion, to show love, and the person you do it with is very special. Like if, let's say, I'm not saying I would ever do this, absolutely ever, but let's say my friend, for example, let's say she loses her virginity to a male, and that male and her have the worst breakup ever, and on her wedding that male turns up, she is still going to have an emotional attachment to him.
She does, yeah.
She is still going to stick with him because she gave something that she possibly values a lot.
Yeah. The next audio is pretty long.
I don't think the world has ever been equal. I think this whole idea of equal rights, I do believe we should have equal rights under the law, right? I'm not saying that women should completely and utterly be slaves. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the modern society we live in has been built by men. All the roads you see, all the buildings you see, everything around you, men built. All of it. When women come along and say, oh, we're just as important, you are just as important, but you had a completely different role. You fulfilled a different role in society. And I think now, if you look at the roles of society, I believe men are still doing their job, but I don't know if women are doing their job. Women's job always was procreation, to look after the family and to look after the man. That's all that they had to do. And the man would go out there and risk his life and spend his time building the modern world. Men are still out here building the modern world. But when they come home now, the girl's like, oh, why should I cook for you? I think women are failing in their role.
I know it was very long, but I think I have very little to say about that. You go first.
Okay, I'm gonna. I've got the text in front of me. I'm gonna take a bit out of it and explain it. So, like, the part where it says, "I don't think the world has ever been equal." We discussed this once, and we were like, "It's never gonna be equal."
It's not, because people see equal in different ways.
Yeah.
You have the standard equal where women can work, men can work, women can take care of the house, men can take care of the house. Then you have different forms of equal. And I believe that the thing is, most people get the term feminism wrong.
Yeah.
They believe that it's a female being prioritized, but feminism is just another word for equality. And with equal protests, equal rights, equal this, equal that, it's different types of equals. And the reason it can never be equal is because people see equal in different ways. Someone will always have a problem with it.
What I feel like, I see equality as like a woman's right. What I see it as, let's say a woman, she doesn't have the money, she doesn't have much access to money in order to get pads or like things for her, menstrual cycle. I feel like that should be a bit more prioritized. That's what I mean by women's right. By women's right, like they should be a bit more protected, because obviously it's a bit more dangerous for them because they're more,
Yeah, but then isn't that danger by the man? Is it who's trying to protect them the one who's ending up harming them? I don't agree with this at all. I'm saying it in a way where he would say it, or I'm saying it in a way where someone who supports him might say it. If men are there to protect you, then why are men most of the people who are violating you?
Yeah. No, that's what I came to think of. That it's a bit, rocky over there.
If he's like, oh, I saw a chick in a bar once and I effed her, then isn't that woman not able to have a man anymore?
Exactly.
And I think he said this thing about a body count of 3. Wait, is it 3 strikes and you're done? Am I in primary school? 3 strikes and you're done.
The part where it says, the man would go out there and risk his life, spending his time building the modern world. Men are still doing it, but now when they come home and to their girls, oh, why should I cook for you?
Isn't the main reason that women don't build and stuff is because they have been restricted from it?
I'm not restricted from it.
Before, I'm saying if a woman could genuinely be a builder, then I'm not saying she would want to, because obviously, in quotations, it's not a very ladylike thing to do, according to some people. But it's like you're encouraging them to do things, but then you're stopping them in a way as well.
Oh, why should I cook for you? Chandrika, would you be up for, let's say you were in this type of situation where your man and there was you. Would you be okay with the fact that your man is going out there, making sure that your life is financially stable, making sure your kid's life is financially stable, not having multiple sex with with multiple women?
The thing is,
but you have to cook and do the stuff.
The thing is, I would never do that. I see someone who would, but I would personally never do that, because I want a relationship with someone to be an agreement. I don't want it to be I know this is very controversial, but obviously emotionally needing each other, but if something ends up happening, I don't want to be able to be I need him, because if something happens to him, God forbid he dies, God forbid he breaks up, God forbid he finds another woman, then I'm not going to be stable, am I? I'm going to be on the ropes. I wouldn't typically do something like this, because I want to know myself that if he is gone, I am financially stable.
When he's gone, the money is towards you, though.
Could be towards the kids. Could be that he had no money. If you have multiple females, the thing is that everything is distributed.
Exactly.
And so, let's say Andrew Tate had a net worth of 1 million before he died.
And he has got...
half of that would go towards tax.
Yeah.
Most of that would be spread out. So you're telling me that you have, in turn, we have had 2 kids. I am alone, and you are giving me around 100,000 to live on for the rest of my life. That's not.
I understand.
I need to have my own way of standing up. Single women need to have their own way. Single men need to have their own way of standing up, being financially stable, because in a way, he's saying that he's pampering the woman. He's taking care of them, but he's not thinking of ways that could destroy that bond.
Exactly.
Because clearly he does have a miscommunication with women sometimes. Now imagine that woman has been with you for 1 year, has now put her luggage on you, like her emotional weight and stuff, and like her financial stabilities, and you decide to leave her. Haven't you in turn ruined that woman's life?
Exactly.
I think he needs to be more wary about what he says, but again, this stuff could be taken out of context. He does 2-hour, 3-hour podcasts, and he could go in depth into them.
Yeah, I feel like me personally, if I were in that type of situation where mine and my husband's role are a bit more traditional, I'd be up for it to an extent. I could, but I personally can't. I physically can't, because like my life is a bit like it's different and stuff, but things are different. But I personally can't. But I feel like if it was like, you know
what imagine if you're really rich, you have a maid, or you're a couple in India or something, or you're a couple in a country that typically does have like maids in your house. Now that maid takes care of the house and stuff like that, so is that woman not fulfilling your duties now?
What do you mean?
As in, imagine you had a maid in your house, she took care of the house, took care of the cleaning, you had a nanny who took care of the kids, and this was typically stuff that your husband actively pays for. And let's say a third person came into it just to give their opinion, then what would they think? The woman's just lounging around there, she has nothing to do.
And he does say a bunch like...
The thing is, typically, say your point.
He does say like, I expect you to cook me dinner, but then he has a chef. I don't understand.
And he's typically travelling a lot as well. And
Yeah.
I don't want it to be... Like, I've seen like stories about women who have like their husbands in the army and they rarely get to see them. And I don't want to be in a way where he doesn't need to go away, but he decides to anyways. Because then don't I typically have the right to travel as well without you knowing?
Exactly.
But then he has possessed this fear of me going to another man. Can I go to parties? Can I travel? Can I do this? Can I do that while you're at home? No, because I'm the one who has to stay home alone. And mostly when I'm home alone, that's when most of the danger comes. That's when most of the people who attack, burglars, stuff like that come. Because obviously he's made it in a way where the sense of the woman alone is vulnerable. So you're not protecting me anymore, are you? This whole point, that this whole realm that you have created yourself, I'm not saying you're delusional, but I'm saying there are certain aspects of your life that could be a way of you seeing the world where that isn't the actual reality.
And I was this fucker really decided to this guy really decided to go on and say that if he said like personally, I'm allowed to go out in the world, travel, but there's no need for you and to go out with the girls and act like you're single again when you're really not. You don't need to act like a hoe.
This comes back to the toxic relationship that we've touched. In a way, there are some boyfriends who do distance girls from their friends.
And that how was that like? When you're gone, like, do you expect me to sit here and be bored? Like, I can't enjoy life.
I think he typically imagines that a female at home, press the button on, active and stuff, turned off. He's not acting like when he's gone or when he's not around, we don't have a life of our own.
Yeah.
Why are you still putting restrictions on me? I'd personally love a free life. I'd personally love to do whatever I want. Obviously you have impulsive thoughts and stuff, but I don't want there to be rules for me. I want to be like, I can do whatever I want if I want to. Obviously I'm a person that would probably choose not to do most stuff that would put harm to other people, but I want to be able to know that I can do. I'd rather have it not restricted to me. You get what I mean?
And I do believe, he does say, like, I know right here it may sound like I'm really disagreeing with the things he says. So, like, I do agree with a lot he says, and I can't even say why, because like it'll seem really controversial. Like, if I sit here and I actually say why I agree with everything that he says, I don't have much to back me up. If I do, like, people don't find it correct or hateful and everything. So I don't have much to back me up. But I do agree with most of the things he says, and I feel like I feel like the reason why I'm so like I believe that there are a couple tiny little things there that he says that are a bit incorrect, but I do feel that he's on the right to say a bunch of things, because let's say you've got a man who's done nothing, has been living his life pretty lazily, sitting there smoking cigars like every 3 days, like not has done much, whereas him like build a life from poverty, he's grown a bit of a life, and he's like changed a little bit more. He's kind of on the right, like he's lived through a lot of life in order to be, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I see where he's coming from, but I feel like he's stretching it too much. Because obviously, if you have a man would want the society to be in his favor, and woman would want society to be in her favor. It's never gonna, again, to the point about equal rights, it's never going to be equal, because people will have different views. A woman would have a different view about what equality is.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think we have one more audio.
Yep.
And then we can move on to tweets.
Yep, and this audio is basically similar to the old one.
Say gender roles aren't real, then why has it been the same everywhere forever? This new think bullshit is based on the fact that we're now living in a society that men have built, strong men have built, based on the back of those traditions. Like 50 years ago, the 1950s, 1960s, none of this shit was real, right? So men stuck to those traditions to get us all the way here. We've added in some new technology that makes it easier for girls to fuck, easier for girls to not get pregnant, easier for girls to find out who the dad is. And now we're in a brand new period of history, which is less than 1 or 2 generations old. And we're going to sit here and say, this is the future. You don't fucking know the future. You're not going to say this is better than the way it used to be, because this is untested. The way it used to be gave us the pyramids, and we went to the moon, and we built this brand new society. I don't know where we're going now. They think it's going to be better. I'm not really sure. I don't see this ended up any better than it used to be. Yeah. But this is new thing. It's untested new thing. I'm discussing 5,000 years of human history. You're discussing 40 years of being a hoe.
I don't understand
4 years of being a hoe. Okay, so
I'm quickly googling who created contraception. Okay, so these were made by males.
what? Like
These forms of contraception, but he says in a way
like condoms and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why he's saying that strong men have built stuff, making it easier for girls to, you know, and easier for girls not to get pregnant. Isn't the whole point of the girl to get pregnant?
Exactly.
So for you it's pleasure, for her it's
It's a job.
Yeah.
It's literally. Here's the thing. I do understand the point where a woman has been gifted with a gift of giving birth. It's a gift. If you've been gifted with it, I think you should make it. Like I do. I hate kids. You know I do. But that doesn't mean I'm just gonna.
Then you're not a real woman. You hate kids, you're not a real woman. You're not gonna have kids, there's no point of you now.
No, but what?
No,
I get.
No. The point of your existence is
To make kids.
Exactly.
No, but what I'm trying to say, like, I do not like kids at all. But that doesn't mean the gift I've been given, I'm not gonna make use of it. It's a gift. I feel like a lot of the people in my life, I feel like so many people, they would be begging for this type of gift. I've received like with so much love. I'm gonna make use of it. But I do not like the part where I don't think he specifically said this, to be honest. But I don't really like when the woman. Like sex is not seen as a pleasure thing for her, but only for the male.
The thing is, I typically don't see it as a pleasure thing that much either, unless obviously it's a person you love.
See it as a pleasure.
No, unless it's like a person you typically love. Like I'm all for the thing to have sex after marriage.
Yeah, same.
I don't typically want to have it before because I feel like if I could, I would narrow it to one person. Because I don't want it to, you know, and obviously I do overthink a lot, so I'd have that thing continuously being with me, like, oh, I've already done this with someone else, am I betraying this person and stuff. And obviously if he's done it before in a society, I should accept that, but again I would feel a bit uncomfortable because I'd be like, honest, is it fair?
I think a lot of girls do say this, that it's very disgusting when a man has a large body count. But then they also complain when a man is not experienced in bed.
I think
it does put some people off if it's not experienced.
I do believe that if it's both of their first time, that is a different kind of bond that has been built between them.
Yeah, that is a special one.
That is a special one.
Beautiful.
If it's the first time for them, then I'm like, as in like one of them, then I'm like, okay, if it's a relationship and it's comfortable, that's fine. But also, I could see their relationship being a bit uncomfortable.
Well,
in a way. So, I'm not sure if you have seen To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Have you seen it?
a couple of trailers here and there.
Basically, in one scene, I'm not sure, I forgot what her lead name is, but basically, that they want to, do it.
Yeah.
But every time he tries to do it, she stops him because she just imagines the fact that he's had another woman on her.
Oh, okay.
It's not in the deep way. It's not in a philosophical way or anything. They're teenage kids. But it's in a way that shows that, like, again, you do have a possessiveness over someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, let's read some tweets.
This is going to get slightly more interesting. So, do you want to start?
Alright. So, Andrew Tate has retweeted his own tweet saying, men go through so much pain that they will never talk about it because they know that nobody cares.
So men's mental health is very overlooked.
That is a completely different topic.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You know, when people sit down and, like, I feel like some women get put off when men cry in front of them. But
to be honest, I feel like it shows a different bond between them. Because again, if that woman truly does love you.
To me, if you cry in front of me and you're a man, I would generally feel special.
To me, again, with him, is that you, in a way, the fact that you do have multiple women, that means you don't have a specific bond with one of them. That means one of them doesn't truly love you. With me, if I had a significant other, I'd like honestly be with them for a very long time, and I would talk to them, and we would have a specific bond. But I wouldn't want that bond shared over because that means I have less. It should be a whole female and a whole male in their specific bond. To me, it shouldn't be I'm getting a quarter of you because that's not fair to me.
Yeah.
Alright, let's read it.
But the power is because they know that nobody cares. It's true.
That is true.
Even for females at this point, it's literally...
To be honest, I feel like girls, they can express it more.
They do.
They do, but again, with males, it's like, it's because of society and you're laughed upon. But again, it's like, why do you care? Why do you care what anyone says? If you're physically stronger, why do you care?
Why do you care at this point?
Exactly.
To me, it's so special if you would do that to me, to be honest. To share your emotional state.
Alright, read the second one.
Men are expected to have money, intelligence, and other achievements. Anything less, you're called a loser. Understand, life isn't fair. But that's a good thing.
Isn't he the one saying this?
Is he writing poetry, man?
See, okay, this is what I'm saying about this guy shooting bullets and not catching them back.
Wait, Cobra Tate.
Listen in. Men are expected to have money, intelligence, and other achievements. But then doesn't he say themselves that if you don't have these things, you are a loser? So he is talking about the fact that that you're called a loser and you're shamed for this stuff, which isn't fair. But he in turn is the one shaming these people.
What?
This guy is... Okay, let me give you a different example because obviously this is kind of a stretch. Hey, I hate the fact that some people are just called ugly. Anyways, you're ugly. That makes no sense to me. Hey, this chair is very beautiful. I would personally, but I wouldn't buy it. Okay, this chair is
beautiful.
No, look, this chair is nice, but I wouldn't buy it. I'm gonna go and buy it. If he's the one shaming them, then why does he care? It makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense.
Though, I feel like men, I don't like seeing men are expected. But I do think having money, intelligence, and other achievement for yourself as a person is a good thing.
Why is mentioning intelligence is highly confusing to me.
No, but to be honest though, I do feel that if you're a person who doesn't have male or female, doesn't have these things, you're naturally a loser in life. I'm gonna be honest.
He's acting like he's not spending that money on himself. That intelligent is actually helping him with his life. He's acting like it's everything given. Intelligence, you can have it for yourself. The main reason that certain parents are strict with studies and stuff is because they know it's going to benefit you in the future.
Oh, have you seen that grilling show with him and that other girl on grilling?
No.
With Cheyenne?
No. Is it the girl with the ponytail and they're sitting on the table?
No.
Okay,
just no.
Okay.
But basically, what happens is like he talks about chess and how on the board, there's like I don't know the black horse and then the queen just get to jump over the board and he connotes that to life and he goes like, men build a life, women just come and join it.
This guy's so weird.
No, but I understand, but I feel that like he thinks that every single woman falls in love with people's status.
Yeah.
But you say that they're emotional, so don't they fall in love with you because of you?
I think he's trying to say, what he's trying to say is that men don't need women. He's trying to say that we've built the world. The only reason you're there is to make more of us. Essentially.
Like, just give me a baby.
I'm saying, in turn, doesn't that motherhood make you need us the most?
Sorry, I've watched a lot of
No, listen. Okay. Modern society has made frying pans, made this, made that. Okay.
Why are you saying
but you're telling me in the past, the woman, especially with no like stuff and buildings, houses, stuff like that, the man just collects the wood, the woman makes the food, the woman makes them eat the food, the woman takes care of the kids, the woman gives birth to the kids. In that sense, I didn't see women complaining to men. It's like, if it's personally affecting you, which it's clearly not, because you're showing your experiences of how you have benefited in life, how this mindset of yours has benefited in life, and I understand why you're spreading it and keeping it to yourself, but again, I don't understand why you're targeting people that aren't aiming towards you at all. There's certain people...
I do feel that he does say that men are expected. It's a role. It's a job. Like your own gender is a job in life. Like I feel like he sits here and says that like, you need to be smart.
I don't feel like the gender, the way that I'm born, should be a duty in my life.
Exactly. I do feel though it's that like it's an accomplishment for yourself. But I feel like there's more to life than a gender role. Come on.
It's like this guy. I'm not saying he backtracks, but in a way, I'm saying that. He says the fact that men are doing everything a woman doesn't, but then in turn he trains these men to do everything, because I feel like he wants to keep up this society. He's got a problem with it, but he wants to keep up this society of whether men is better than a woman. Yeah, like he shows that he has a problem with it, but behind of it, all of it, in a way he's making it more emphasis on it. He's showing how this should be, how life should be, and then he's showing issues with it. And that made no sense. Let's move on. Read the next one.
Why are all these business women and CEO chicks married to very rich men? It's almost as if the man pays for their entire lives and their businesses are hobby bullshit.
Is it just me, or is the CEO of YouTube a female?
It's
just me, or she? I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a man behind her. I could be wrong, but I don't think she does. And I think, again,
he uses the word chicks too much, and I don't know why that angers me. But
again, the Kardashians.
I don't like the Kardashians.
Okay, maybe Robert Kardashian would trigger it, but the successful amount of them is mainly because of their mother. Is mainly because of their iPhone. Obviously, their show Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but
to be honest, no man watches the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's all the women.
But it's like a way of showing their new life. Obviously, it's women support women, men support men. but he's creating a physical divide between them, which I personally don't feel comfortable with. Because you're showing me a way where I can't bond with anyone who is a male unless I am attracted to them. Alright.
He retweeted his own tweet.
Andrew Tate retweeted his own tweet. A man can be in the worst position and all he'll say is, I'll take care of it. He might be flat broke with no hope, but that's what he'll say. And might get grumpy, but somehow he finds a way. Respect to all the real men out there that do the impossible daily. Why is he justifying what's a real man and what's a real woman? Are you the high court? Are you the patriarchy? Are you telling me what I can and cannot do? Are you my mum? Are you my dad? The main thing that's annoying about him is because he thinks he's right. He thinks there's loads of value in his opinion, and obviously with the fan base he has created there is, but the amount of value he feels that people should just listen to him. Again, with what he's been saying, he's been building this ego. He's been building this absolute ego.
I was about to say, I absolutely agree with this statement, and he just going on. I agree. Like, a man do most of the time.
But I'm saying, why is he respect to all the real men? Why are you telling me what a real man is? Okay, I'm generally with my husband, okay, and he has had some false investments. Are you telling me he's not a real man anymore because he's got less money? And the thing is, if I were with a man and yes, he would make, obviously not on purpose, obviously because not of carelessness, but if he genuinely did make some mistakes in his investments or his career and he was without money for a while, I would obviously lend him some money. I would obviously take care of him. Why is this guy telling me that now the person, just because a female is taking care of them, he isn't a real man, and because I'm taking care of him, I ain't a real woman? I am there to help you. I am there to care for you. If you are not happy, then I am clearly there to help you financially survive because I care for you. Stop telling me that I am not a real woman or a man because I am just trying to live my life and don't need your unjustified opinion.
But listen, how, like, you know how nowadays, like, people just say, oh, she chats crap about me, there should be, but she took care of me and she told her to stop chatting crap about me, there should be more people like her. He's trying to say there should be more real men, where he's trying to say there should be more men that do things like this. Right?
So you're telling me a woman can't?
It doesn't really say in the statement.
Okay.
No, but
Okay. Do you know what the next quote is under this?
I have to read it. Wait. A woman should never be a
Okay, so this is from Andrew Tate Quotes. So the is at quotes top G. So this may not be something he said, but we're just getting it from that account.
Wait, no, but but someone takes the woman and bolds it.
No, because I searched Andrew Tate woman, so that's probably not you. A woman should never be your best friend. How do you feel about that?
To a male, I mean, how does it really? I don't really believe in male with girlfriends.
As in, you can't have a female best friend.
Yeah.
But what if you're in a relationship and they're your best friend?
What do you mean?
Or if my husband
was your best friend,
my husband would obviously be my best friend, wouldn't he?
He doesn't talk about relationship-wise. He doesn't mention anything about a relationship.
Alright, well, let's just skip that. Okay.
No, but what? Wait, no. But I agree with that statement because I don't think male and female friendships work well together. Let's move on.
My cousin's my best friend.
He's your bloody cousin, man.
Still, he's a male.
Yeah, but you can't risk a chance of a relationship.
Okay. This next quote, I have so much to say about it. Okay. This is again from Andrew Tate Quote, so I don't know if he actually said this, but if a girl follows me and she's hot and I see a single picture of her in a private jet, it's blocked. Women can't afford jets. Women are all brokies. Why are you flying around some man's jet? You should have been a virgin when I met you. Haram. The logic in this sends me back to year one.
No, haram.
Hey, just the logic of this sends me back. Where does the fact of the virgin come from?
should have been a virgin. Where does that come
Kylie
from?
Jenner, I'm pretty sure Kylie Jenner has a private jet. I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift has a private jet. Or are you telling me some man bought it for her?
No, wait. But that's different because they're celebrities.
No, still a woman. Are you telling me celebrities can't be females now?
No, they definitely.
No, he's saying in a way that a woman can't be successful without a man. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
What I do think is that men and women, it's a bit difficult to deal with one without the other. But I don't think it's impossible to live without one. And I do believe that when he says women can't afford justice, that's a bit difficult. Women are all brokies, that's even more difficult to understand. If a girl follows me and she's hot and I see a single picture of her in a private jet, then it's blocked. What do you mean?
Did she add you in the first place?
What the fuck do you want, man? At this point,
I think this quote was just generally a joke.
No, he wants, probably. But he wants a woman who's a virgin, who's like, lives in the streets to make money.
No, he wants a woman who's a virgin, but a body count 3 who approves of him going to multiple other women. But again, body count 3, remember that. Oh wait, no, she's a virgin, okay? This guy's making a list that it can't really be it. Okay, say the next one.
It's another Andrew Tate quote, so it's not directly from him. I feel like he said it. Females have an evolutionary disdain for weakness, experiencing masculine. What?
Faintly
fills them with rage. The weak men compensate by finding a focus for the female aggression to avoid suffering it himself. Let's attack my family. Please be nice to me.
Let's skip that because
I don't understand it at all. What?
All right. So this is not from Andrew Tate. This is from a person called Mandy's blog 85, and she says that this is one of Andrew Tate's quotes, and I believe I've heard it because I've generally heard about him talk about how women can't drive.
I saw the word cockpit and I'm suddenly interested.
I was getting on a plane and I could see through the cockpit that a female was the pilot. And
He said this.
Okay. And I took a picture and I said, most women I know can't even park a car. Why is a woman flying my plane? And I said this and they banned me, I think. Okay, so I read this quote and I bought some statistics for this guy, okay? He's saying women
wait,
generally
before
can't
you
drive.
bring your actual statistics, I want to say this. That female who is a pilot, she earned it. Do you know how long it takes to be a pilot? She earned it.
Oh, her husband probably gave it to her.
I do feel that women have a better coordination. I don't know if that's true or not, but like
I feel like they're more delicate. That's probably why, according to him. Obviously, personality is completely different. Okay, my statistics. So, this is from osv.limited.uk. There have been a huge number of studies as this to see the end old age argument of who is a better driver. So let's look at the stats. A study took place in America found that 71% of car accident casualties were men, while women only made 29% of deaths. Who's the more rubbish driver according to this? I'm saying it depends on the person if they drive properly or not. But again,
I don't know who he hangs around with.
You know, I generally googled. I was like, who pays more for car insurance and why? Men tend to pay more for car insurance overall, and you know why this is? Because they tend to crash more cars. You see more men drunk driving than females. So now, why are you telling me a woman can't drive when men drive more catastrophically? Explain it to me. Because clearly your facts aren't facting, are they? Why are you just randomly eating a crisp?
Entertainment.
Alright, I think that's the end of this podcast. It is 55 minutes long. And this is obviously typically one episode that is very long. I'm thinking of not making this episode 8 and making it the next episode instead. But we will see. So this should be uploaded by next week.
Enjoy.
Alright, enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.